This is Warren Buffett. With a net worth of $104 billion, he pays less in tax than his secretary. And why did Mark Zuckerberg demand an annual salary of $1, making him the lowest paid employee in Facebook? And how do the wealthiest 1% manage to pay the least tax legally? Let's check out in this video. The tax that you and I pay are different from the tax that these billionaires pay. Broadly divided, tax are of two types: income tax and capital gain tax. If you earn your income by a salary, then every year you have to pay an income tax to the government. On the other hand, let's say you bought a stock for 100 rupees and you sold it for 110, which means that you made a profit of 10 rupees. Now, the government would demand a tax on this profit, and that is what we simply call capital gain tax. Warren Buffett accumulated most of his wealth through the stock market. Thanks to his equity in Berkshire Hathaway, Buffett is the largest shareholder, CEO, and chairman of the company. Berkshire Hathaway owns a bunch of businesses and equity in companies like Apple and Coca-Cola. So when these businesses perform well and their stock prices rise, Berkshire Hathaway makes profits, and of course, so does Warren Buffett. But now let's come to the actual question. How does Warren Buffett manage to pay less tax rate than his secretary? Here is the simple math. Every year his secretary would have to pay an income tax on her salary. But that's not the way how Buffett does it, because he pays capital gain tax. And here comes the interesting part. You only have to pay capital gain tax when you sell your assets, or in this case, when you sell your equity. Let's say you bought a piece of land for 1 CR, a piece of real estate. Now it's of course your choice when you want to sell it or if you even don't want to sell it. Now the government cannot even take a 1 rupee tax no matter how long you hold that piece of land, because capital gain tax can only be applied when you sell your assets. But a question that might come to your mind is, if Buffett does not sell his shares, then how does he make money? The answer is simple: dividends. Warren Buffett receives $890 million in dividends just by a single company, Apple, which is a little more than 9 times the salary of its CEO, Tim Cook. And this is just one single company. Now you can imagine how much money he makes in dividends. Now their second way to make money while avoiding taxes is, now this might sound a little bit weird, but it is loans. What if I tell you that a billionaire takes loans to cover his daily expenses? Since loans have to be paid back, they count as a liability and not as an income. And these wealthy people have plenty of collateral such as real estate or the stocks they hold, which means that they can easily get loans to cover their daily expenses without selling the assets and pay capital gain tax. And this is a really smart way to save taxes by borrowing money. And if you think that's the end, here comes the most astonishing part of the story. Let's say you own $1 billion worth of stocks, and after your death, your son or daughter inherits that wealth. Now, as the wealth has been passed on, they don't have to pay a single penny worth of tax on it. Yes, you heard that right, not even 0.1% tax. And this is called buy, borrow, die. You buy assets, hold them for the long term, take them as a collateral and borrow loans to manage your expenses, and then pass on that wealth, and no tax will be imposed on that entire pool of money. Now you might say that no, this is wrong because the rich are undertaxed, and the government took some steps by increasing the capital gain tax, but no matter how much they increase it, a large pool of money will still remain untaxed. It takes a couple of hours to make a video like this, so if you feel you have got some value after watching this video, I promise in the upcoming ones you will be learning a lot more. So make sure you subscribe to Credo and hit that like button so you don't miss any of our content.